New studies are working to modify the conventional wisdom that drinking in moderation has health benefits, as scientists link even moderate drinking to cancer. The alcohol industry is coming together to fight back. Major beer and spirit makers Anheuser-Busch, Diageo, Heineken, and Pernod Ricard are putting their rivalry aside to contribute more than $55 million to assess the effects of alcohol on health. Joining me now is who do we have here? Laura Ries and Bonnie Taub-Dix is the nutritionist. But I want to start with you first, Bonnie, as far as the health benefits or lack thereof of alcohol. Where do you stand on that?
Well, look, let's face it, most of us are not drinking alcohol for its health benefits. So I think that yes, although wine can have some benefits, it has resveratrol, which we know could be helpful. I think that the key is going to be that boring word, moderation. And there's nothing wrong with living a little, enjoying yourself with some alcohol, especially if you like it. But you need to know yourself, of course. And also, alcohol could be different for everyone depending on your age, your height, your weight, your sex. Men and women metabolize alcohol differently. So I think, you know, like anything else in life, you need to know yourself. All
right, and so Laura, the industry is fighting back against any reports or studies that are coming out saying that this is bad for you. How are they doing that?
Well, listen, they have to face the reality. They enjoyed for decades this health halo, and they made hay with it, that, hey, drinking is good for you. And listen, the reality is the party's over. You know, the idea that, you know, lots of alcohol is good for you is just, you know, goes against what, you know, your health expert just said. And so what they do now have to do is pivot. And they're not going to pivot by, I think the wrong answer is to try to fight back and say, no, 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 drinking's good for you. I think what they do need to fight back is with moderation. That it is moderation. Listen, anything in excess is going to kill you and give you cancer. And we've seen many studies go back and forth on lots of things. Fat's good for you. Fat's bad for you. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for you. And I think they have to get in with that. We can't legislate this thing. It has to be moderation. Let's give people freedom. Let them enjoy it. And there are, you know, they have to make the decision on how much and what they do consume.
Bonnie, it's hard for people. People enjoy their wine and they enjoy their beer, and they're constantly being told something else. Dagan's raising her hand.
What's moderation?
It's self-medication.
What is moderation?
Okay, so what's moderation? I'll tell you what a drink is supposed to be. A drink is supposed to be a 12-ounce beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, right?
5 ounce?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, there are 5-ounce glasses of wine, you know, in a bottle, just so you know. And it's also a shot of spirits. So really, a lot depends upon...
Over what time period? An hour?
I mean, have a drink a day.
No, that's just what a drink is. So it's supposed to be, yeah, a drink a day. Now, for some people, a drink like that a day could be a lot. But then there are other people that say, well, I don't drink every day. However, there are downing shots, which could be like...
Right.
Exactly. So that could be like, you know, a week's worth of drinks in one day. But I think you have to think about a lot of other things. Here's where size matters. So if you have a glass of wine that's filled to the brim, and, you know, sometimes we go to restaurants and they give you, it's like, oh, that's such a cheap pour. But really, it's a huge glass that you're drinking in, and if you took that wine and put it into a little glass, it would look like, oh, that's a very nice glass of wine. So you have to look at the size that you're drinking, and also how the span of time in which you're drinking. A good thing to do, you know, alcohol actually could be very dehydrating. So a way to make yourself feel a little bit more full and to stretch it out is also for every glass of wine you have or alcohol you have a bottle of water or have some water.
Good way to go.
Here's my tip of the day. Huge pours at Outback Steakhouse for some reason.
Oh, my gosh.
Huge pours of wine.
All right.
We'll go there at 9 a.m. as soon as the show's over.
All right, Laura, I want to get you back in here.
In your mouth.
Yeah. Laura, when scientists tied cigarettes to cancer, the government stepped in with policy changes, higher taxes, that shrunk the industry. Could the alcohol industry face a similar fate?
Well, I think they are extremely worried about that. They were very effective in shrinking the market for cigarettes. But I think, you know, what they have to be careful is, you know, I think it's very clear that there is severe and serious health risk with smoking. Any level of smoking, I mean, it just makes common sense that it's not good for you. They want to distance themselves, and they want to be, you know, go against, look what happened to sugar. You know, sugar, they're doing, you know, soda tax in Philadelphia. There are lots of legislation in the books.
Bonnie wants to jump in here.
I
got to let her have one last word.
You know, I don't think that any one food should be demonized. I think that, you know,
Right.
listen, we were eating sugar years ago. Look at Twinkies, ring dings, all that. We didn't have the incidence of obesity that we have today. People bash processed food, but, you know, unless you're chewing on a stalk of wheat in the morning, if you eat bread, then that's processed. So I think that there's a realm for all this stuff.
I'm always confused after these segments, because then if you're not going to have your glass of wine, then you're like, okay, well, I need a little chocolate. And then now they're going to tell me that's not good for you.
Let me break this down for you. You don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do drugs. The only thing you've got left is alcohol. Don't give it up. That's all you got going for you.
Maybe that's what's wrong with Donald Trump. He doesn't drink.
Oh, wow. You went there, did you?
I didn't go there. That wasn't me.
All right, Laura, Ries, and Bonnie Taub-Dix, thank you so much for joining us this morning.